Alright, welcome to the final race in Season 6 of ACC. Unfortunately, Ross is not available today, so I'm having to cover for him. Just a one-off. And obviously next season we are looking for a full-time commentator to come in and join in and be part of the team. Just making sure I can get the thumbnail on the video. Before I load up the chat and make sure everything is all everything's all good. It looks like we've only got 15 here today. Been a lot of dropouts today, which is a shame, but yeah, hopefully for next season we'll get a full grid back and every week we'll be here. I am gonna have to bring up the stand-ins as well for the league before I forget, because we do have a title battle on our hands here. It's pretty close, and there is a chance that we've got a few guys, I think, that are in to be able to win it today. There we go. I just realised everyone has access to that channel that I've linked there, unfortunately, but never mind, I've corrected my mistake. I am going to bring up the standings as well right now on SimGrid, so I've got them available so I can try and see whenever we get a position change. I know Morrow is leading the race, and someone that I actually did want to point out to and give some time on the camera was T-Pus. The big man has been with us since pretty early days of Gran Turismo, over 3 years now with the league, and today is going to be his final race before he takes a little break. Maybe we'll see him again in the future. It would be great if we do, but if not, I think this guy deserves some camera time today because he's an absolute legend. And I'll certainly be wishing him well on his final race. He's actually running a throwback livery here as well in the Aston Martin, which was the first car he ever drove in ALR back in Season 6 of Gran Turismo, over 3 years ago now. And yeah, he brought back the green and gold livery from that season, just as a little throwback and a little sort of way to say goodbye to the league, which I thought is really cool. And yeah, good to see. Coming towards the end of qualifying now, we are actually on the final lap, so I probably should pay attention and watch Giuseppe Morrow here. Let's go on board with him. 1/10 off the lead, the championship leader is. Right, what's happened here? For some reason, it's just teleported me to someone that I wasn't trying to watch there when I tried to go on to... Here we go. Oh, what do I say? Does anyone know how to get rid of the massive writing above his name? Anyway, I think it's recovered and found him. So here we are. Championship leader. He's 1/10 up, you know. And there was a 1/10 gap to Stim, I think it was. Stim, sorry. I think it was. Let's see if he can go over. It looks like he's lost a little bit of time there, and I think he's going to stay P2 here. Yeah, he does. 201.3. Yeah, less than a tenth off pole. Unfortunately. Where are the points? I actually can't find the points that we get in each race. I know this one is double points, but I genuinely can't see the point sort of format for ACC, which is, yeah, quite annoying, but never mind. So I won't have the best of idea at who is going to be winning, but we've got, who's this in P2? I actually need to, so is he here? Zelek. He's not actually here, P2 in the standings. So we've got Frivigel in P3 and Yerite Bomber in P7. So we've got P2, P4 and P7 on the grid out of the three guys who are in with a chance of the title this season. Scoring, there we go, that's what I need. Wow, okay, there is a crazy big, so there's a crazy big difference in points. So if Morrow can get, he needs to get top 7 to guarantee himself the title. So I'm pretty sure, maybe top 6 actually. No, I think it's top 7 Morrow needs to gain himself the title. Obviously this is assuming he's not getting any penalty points. But yeah, there's a lot more to play for further back, and also in split 2 we've got a championship battle on our hands as well, where there is some stuff to play for over there. Looks like we've got 2 minutes to wait before. Is there any way to take on them big names? I don't know where that would be. Driver online AD is disabled. Nope. I'll put that back on because I might need that. Oh, I didn't save it? There we go. Alright, hopefully I'll be able to figure out who's who. But yeah. We have actually released Season 7 sign-ups for Patreons, I believe, today. We've had quite a lot of people joining and signing up already, which is good to see. So make sure to get your sign-ups in if you are a patron, so you can guarantee your position on the grid for next season. I think the ACC team are trying to wait and see the interest levels before they decide whether we're keeping with 2 separate grids or whether we're going down to 1.
30 seconds.
So yeah, in terms of the grid, it is Slim in first place, with Morrow in second, Davey is in third, Frivigel is in fourth, followed by BX Rail. Ben is in
10 seconds.
P6 on the grid. Do I have his gamer tag? Oh, no, Big Beaver, that's the one, of course, is. We got Bomber in P7, T-Pos, the man on his final performance in ALR in P8, Regnich in P9, followed by Zito in P10. We got Eroticos in P11, Cabras 12, Dan the Man in 13. But these engines are very loud. Capeo down in 14th, and then I don't know who this is in B15, if I'm honest with you. Let's see if I can find out who it is. Brad Hashbringer, okay. But yeah, it looks like greasy. A wet start to the race actually, not even greasy, like it's absolutely soaking. Look at all the spray that you can already see on the grid here. Let's see how bad it actually looks on board. Let's go down to the midfield. We've got a driving line on as well. Let's take... Can we take that off? There we go. Doesn't actually look too bad. We are on board with Morrow though, rather than one of the guys further back, which is where I was going for. Let's go further back. Yeah, the spray's not actually too bad, so they should be okay, these guys. They're good enough drivers to deal with it. Just gotta make sure you can keep your tyres warmed up, but not too warm, obviously. Is there any way we can have a look at? The camera was struggling a little bit there. So what I find really frustrating is that we can't cycle through the grid at all on ACC, so it makes it a lot more difficult here to try and find out who you want to find, but we'll go on board with the championship leader for the start of the race. I think that's the most sensible thing to do. Where is T-Boss? Here's T-Boss. Oh. Okay, no it wasn't. I thought it was going down in order then for a little bit, but yeah. For context, it definitely is possible that Morrow doesn't have this one wrapped up. He's finished outside, he's finished 8th twice, and 8th would not be enough for him, I don't think, if Bradley wins the race. They're both part of the same team, so we'll see what happens with these two. But yeah, I think it'll be Morrow's second title as well. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong with that one. In ALR, if he does come and win it. There's a nice retro livery there from T-Boss, the man. Let's go back up to Morrow for the start of the race though. P2 on the grid, he'll be lined up alongside Slim. The rain does look like it's stopped right now. I can't see any raindrops, so if there is anyone on the wet tyres, they might be coming in quite early, and I would say we might see dryers to the end, but that's definitely not going to be the case with an hour and a half of racing today. It's going to be a long one, and it's going to be a test of endurance for these guys with the walls being so close around Bathurst. And I'm definitely going to need some water to keep my voice working for the whole race. Anyway, here we are preparing for the start of the race. We've got Morrow and Slim lined up next to each other. Slim in the Mustang, Morrow in the Mercedes. And it's a pretty equal start here. It's a really good start from P3 Davey there. Looks like Slim managed to hold it. Davey's actually up the inside of the championship leader already. Tucks back into the slipstream though. And I'll tell you what, Morrow has got a really good exit there. It looked like he was going to lose position to Davey, and he's gained a couple temps on Davey rather than losing the position. Davey going deep. I would switch, but it's so hard to know where we're going to be looking. Oh my god, there's been a crash. I'm not really sure what's happened there, but Morrow is going to have damage. The championship leader is going to have damage in turn 3. Slim's damage is definitely worse. But can I go see a replay? I think I can see a replay to see what's happened there. It might be worth doing that. I know it's lap 1 of the race, but we're going to have to go see what happened. Just because we completely missed it. There's no way to skip laps forward. Oh yeah, there is. Where are we? Who do I need? I need change car. I don't know people's numbers. I think we're going to have to leave it. We're going to have to miss it. We don't know what's happened. But we're going to miss too much of the race if I don't watch it. But yeah, with all that, Morrow is still in P4. He does have a lot of damage though, but obviously we don't know how much that's going to be affecting him. It does look like the weather is getting a lot better. BX is too far back to make a move here. It looks like the one who's most likely to be able to make a move is Ben or... yeah, right, just behind him. Not quite going to be able to make a move in here, is he? Cabale's away. Oh my god, this battle here. We got 4, 5, 6 cars separated really close to each other. I'm not sure what the flashing yellow light is on the back of this car. Morrow stays out, so obviously his damage can't be that bad. And not T-Boss, Eroticas looks like he's gone off. Okay, drops well down here, down to P11. Bit of a gap forming at the front. Do you know what? I think Morrow does have damage here. He's dropped 3 seconds back from BX and Davey. See what Beaver can do. Can he get a move? He's looking at the inside of Fravigal, but I think Fravigal's just going to be defending with his teammate up ahead. And I would love to know what tyres everyone's on right now, because this track is damp. It's not going to be long until the dry tyres are going to be the better tyre. And I tell you what, Fravigal has just hit the wall as well. That's not going to do his championship by any good, as he's losing more ground tomorrow. Good move though by Ben Beaver. Further back we got Hale. Still tight behind T-Boss. Not close enough to make a move there, is he? Dan hits the wall. Probably won't be the first. Won't be the last today. And I think Hash has made a mistake here as Zito gets past him. Up into P13. Or not Zito. Who is that? Oh no, it is Zito who has made the move. The standings just hadn't updated. And unfortunately Slim is going to be in the pits for a while recovering. Davey's gone here though. This is what made him a 2-time champion at ALR, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to watch this battle. Freevigal's got back past Ben. Oh no, sorry, it's Morrow. Ben is right on the back of Morrow, who definitely does have... I would say he definitely has damage. Maybe it's just Davey being so good. Davey's gained 3 seconds on BX. Morrow's still 3 seconds behind BX as well. BX is into the pits. I think BX must have started on the wet tyres for him to come into the pits there. I don't think he was involved in the collision. So it looks like dry tyres are quicker right now. Ben goes deep. That's going to ruin his chances at a move here. Let's look at Bomber. Goes deep as well. Beaches it into the gravel a little bit. He's going to lose position to C-Boss and Capale. I'll tell you what, Capale, this Porsche is so much louder than the rest of the cars, by the way. I'm not sure if it's meant to be or if it's empty signs, but he's in the slipstream. Probably not going to get alongside. No, he backs out, leaves it, sticks it behind, and he'll sit behind for another lap. It would be nice if the chart updated a little bit, but I guess we can't have everything, can we? Cabras has also got damage. Can't quite get past the right cars, unfortunately. I don't think Morrow does have damage, you know. I think I might have been wrong. I think Davey is just absolutely flying here. I mean, if you take that corner like that too often, it's not going to be great. Ben up to P2. I tell you what, that might be his best result of the season. It will be if he can stay here in P2. This is comfortably going to be Ben's best result of the season. He actually hasn't a podium yet this season. And he has just made his way up to P2 there, I promise you, that is him up ahead. Even though the standings say he's behind. But Davey is just completely checked out here at the front. Bathurst King himself. Is there any more battles? We got Capale right on the back of T-Boss still. Not able to make a move though. That Porsche doesn't have the grub of the Aston Martin. That's why the Aston Martin is such a popular choice. Same with the Ferrari, they just have that straight line speed to stay ahead of people on the straights. This is bunching up though here, isn't it? We've got P2 to P6 covered by maximum second gap between each of them. And I'll tell you what, P7's right here as well, and P8. You could stick all these guys in that gap that is between P2, P1 and P2. Dan makes another mistake, he doesn't have anyone behind him though, so he'll be fine there. Let's have a look if Capale can make the move on T-Boss. He's got alongside again, but similar to last time, he's just going to have to do it in the brakes because the Porsche just can't get alongside. Yeah, good move from Capale. What is this? Free Vigel on the back of Morrow. Looks like we might have some battles further back. No, we don't. Oh, yeah, we do. Cabras. I'm not sure what position he's in. And I'm not sure who he's behind. It looks like Zito has made his way past Cabras here, up into P11. But it is quite hard to tell. Gonna have to go back ahead to that back of the front soon, aren't we? Because they're going to be coming over to the main straight soon. Where should we? We'll look at Bomber. See if he can get a good exit and get past T-Boss. Obviously, just lost the position on this lap already. Not sure why they're just going past a time board here, so the times are updating. In fact, they do take a while to update these times. Big gap between P8 and P9 already. Looks like T-Boss might be the one to get a move done here if anyone's going to be. Not quite close enough. Let's look at the battle for the title. Rivigel and Morrow, both from ART drivers. It's not the best exit there from Rivigel, getting a bit much on the curb. Obviously the curbs are still going to be wet. Really just going to prevent him putting the power down. I want to know what's happened to BX as well. BX did come into the pits off his wet tyres, and I tell you what, he's actually still on the hill. He's so far behind, so he might have had a bit of damage there. Yeah. Brevico just doesn't have the pace to get alongside Morrow here. He's got to do more in that third sector. But obviously for now, he's got to stick with him. Stay as close as possible throughout this sector. Morrow has damage. Morrow was involved in that lap one shunt with Coleman. So there's no way that he should be gaining this much time in the middle sector. He's doing an incredible job, let's just say that. He is losing time to Big Beaver up ahead though, who was actually starting to slowly close the gap on Davey. That gap was about 8.5 earlier on, it's down to 7.6, obviously not substantial in the grand scheme of things. But he's doing well. I think we've lost someone as well. I'm not sure who, but we definitely had 16 cars to start with, including myself, and we're down to 15 now, so not sure what's happened there. This is the battle though, P3 to P7. Separated by a total of 3 seconds. Everyone going a little bit deep there. Fribergo's not going to get the move done, he's touched the grass, so has T-Boss, which means Bomber is going to be right on his arse here. Doesn't go for the move though, looks like he's trying to cool his tyres. I'm not sure if going to the grass cools your tyres, I don't know that much about the game, sorry. But he definitely did. Brake early then, which I believe was trying to cool down his tyres somehow. It does look like we got a little bit of a lull now as has dropped off the back a little bit. So let's go and have a look at that replay of lap 1 while we're here. I want HUD on so I can see people's names, and I want car number 1 is fine. Alright, let's... Oh no, that was the right lap there. So we want to go back to see what happens. Just because we missed it, obviously. Might as well, there's not too much going on in the race. Oh my god. How do I change camera? What happened? Morrow has just... Oh no. That's definitely Morrow's fault, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't get reported, and he's the championship leader. That's going to be one to look out for. What have we missed? Oh. Let's watch this. We've got Zito right at the back of It looks like Morrow might have had another crash, this time with Bomber. Everything's going against him. I don't know how they would have had a crash though, because they were opposite ends of the train. Morrow was up in P3, Scanlon was down in P7. That serves me right for cutting away, doesn't it? I was like, yeah, there's a massive gap in. Morrow is really struggling to get into the pits there, by the way. It's put T-Pass up to 4th. Capale is up to 3rd. What have we missed? I'm going to have to go use the replay function again, aren't I? Driver goes in the pits, so something has definitely happened. It's going to bring Slim back into the race. Davey, obviously, well, he's got Slim right behind him, so it'll be interesting to know who's got the pace out of these two. Dan's up in P5, his car looks okay. Doesn't look like there's really any battles apart from this T-Plus Capale one, which is not a battle, so at risk of missing something again, I'm gonna go have to see what happened. We can't just like live our race without, live our day without knowing what's happened there. Alright, on board with Morrow, who is in P3 at this point, so this is where we left off. No, I want it car 1. So this is where we left off roughly to go watch. Oh my god. What? What has happened? Oh my, okay, yeah, no. I think we can safely say that didn't happen, and we'll never know what happened, so... Yeah, anyway, no change here from where we left off. Bale's still in P3, T-Bus still in P4. Dan's still in P5. I'm gonna have to see a clip of what happened. Alright, who's coming out of the pits here? It is... I don't know. Freevigel? Yeah, it's Freevigel, so he's a lap down on Scanlon, so that's not really a battle. There is a blue flag out, you can see, which does make sense. I can't believe what I've just seen. Oh my god, Morrow is actually going to bottle this. The championship leader. Is it Flight Sim? Honestly, I think the game thought it was Flight Simulator for a second. And after his Flight Simulator experience, he's got himself a stop go 30. Right now, I think Bomber is leading the championship. Maybe Davey, with that massive gain, with Morrow being down in P30, that's absolutely ridiculous. This championship has just been thrown wide open as I think Taylor's is fun. No, it's fine. Wide open. Okay, Morrow, he's probably going to get 14th here with this penalty. Which will stick him on to 422 points. Which Davey can't do. Wait, no, oh my god, he'll be joint on points with Davey. If Morrow drops behind BX Royal, he'll be level on points with Davey, who's leading the race. Freivigel wouldn't be gaining enough points. The only other person is Bomber, who is in P8. What position would he need to get to 422? He would need P4. So if Bomber can get up to P4, which is not out of the question, it's about 13-14 seconds. Then he'll overtake... Oh my god, who's spun? Eroticos has spun. He's trying to get into ART, clearly, with his ART tryouts. Trying to fall behind Morrow, because right now Morrow and Davey are level on points as things stand for the championship lead. Morrow and Davey are level of points. Scanlon will take the lead if he gets up to P4. And I think Frevigel's out of it, but he would need to get up to like P5, which I think is going to be too much for him. Obviously there's a chance Morrow can recover from here, and he's going to have to. He's definitely got it in him. But he's a lap down on Davey. The two most successful drivers in ALR, Assetto Corsa, as it stands, are sharing and actually Davey would win it on results. They'll both have 1 win. They'll both have 2 second places, but Davey has 2 third places. Morrow only has 1. So Davey is literally leading the title now from back in P5 at the start of the day. This man is inevitable. Can he be the first ever 3-time champ of ALR Assetto Corsa? Morrow is 2 laps down now. T-Pass, Cabello's obviously come into the pits and done his pit stop. All of these guys have still got a pit. Morrow will be looking at a Rotocross who's obviously just got damage, and he'll be thinking, if I can get past you, that takes me ahead of Davey. And it's all on Bomber. It's starting to rain again now, so everyone else is going to come onto the pits. Did Morrow do the smart thing, and did he put on wets? Obviously, you can see this rain has lasted for at least half an hour. He would have known that when he came into the pits. Okay, I think everyone's going to be coming to the pits now. If they weren't already on wet tyres, which, I don't know, they'll definitely be coming in now. Bomber stayed out. How bad is this? Let's go on board with Davey, the current championship leader, which is absolutely mental to say, from P5 on the grid. On the standings before the race. It's absolutely mental. I think we're going to have to get an advert for this one out on Twitter, to be honest, with how close this race T-Pass into the pits. Ben stays out. Dan stays out. Bomber surely come in. Oh, he's cut the pit line. He's cut the pit line. I don't know if you get penalties for that. I think we do, but we'll see. So this is all big where Bomber comes out, basically. I'm sorry, that's just absolutely crazy that Davey and Bomber would be, and not Bomber, sorry, Davey and Morrow would be level on points. It doesn't look like there's any battles on track right now, but it's hard to see. Are there any cars close on track? No, there's not. So we're going to go on board with Davey. I think that's what we're going to... I would like to do anyway, game. Let me... Where is Davey? Here he is. Let's get on board with him. Let's see if the eyes of this man... It's definitely wet now, isn't it? Okay, it's a bit of Davey. Don't risk it. You don't know what's on the line. He thinks he's out of this battle, by the way. He is like 100 points behind going into this final race. And this performance that he's done so far, he must be on wet actually. He must have started on wet tyres and just stayed out and suffered through the dry. Just noticed Morrow is up to P13. That'd be an extra 4 points. I need to get the freaking calculator out here tonight, like to keep on top of this and to understand who is going to win this championship, because I swear to God this is going to change every minute. Morrow is going up to P13 with that news of whoever it was coming to his. That gives him an extra 4 points, which, yeah, that takes it out of Davy's strokes. There's nothing that Davy will be able to do there. But either way, it's been an absolutely incredible drive from here. Let's get this 10 seconds. Let's see what everyone else is doing. Morrow is up to P13. What's his gap behind him? I can't see anyone behind him. He is flying on these wet tires. He does have the pace, and he's showing why he's the king of this championship. But it's not really so far at all. Morrow 10 points too less. How bad that is. Let me get back to the camera we want to see. Here we go. Anyway, so T-Boss is in the net lead out of everyone who's coming to the pits. Girl is going to be dropping down to P4 as it stands in the standings. Cabras, head of all the ART drivers up in P4, doing a really good job. Reg is up in P5. Slim, after the disaster of the first lap, has recovered all the way to P6 with the fastest lap. He's been incredible today. Bomber's down in P7. He's going to have to get up to P3 to win this thing. And Errata cars, what has happened? An absolute disaster. That's bumped Morrow up by... yeah, I mean, Morrow's getting P13, isn't he? Ben's coming into the pits. He'll probably stay in second place, I would expect. He's done a fantastic job so far, working his way up from where he started in qualifying. Moves a lap down from Thingy. Looks like there's a battle here. Who's got the low number? Is it Capel? It is Capel and Zito, separated by not two. Oh no, sorry, it's Capel and Dan that are separated from just a couple of seconds. And that's probably where we should watch, to be honest, isn't it? Get some coverage to Capel, the big man. Done it in ACC. I've heard that he's been struggling all season in Split 1, but I'm pretty sure he will recover next season and smash it out of the park. As I said earlier, the calendar has been revealed for the Patreon, so yeah, sign up to Patreon if you're interested in knowing the calendar and having your sign up available for Season 7. As I said, we are looking for a commentator for our ACC division. It's really hard to see these gaps here because they take so long to generate, the gaps between BX and Morrow. For example, Morrow is coming up to the next timing screen soon. So if it shows here, 31 seconds behind BX, like, he's probably not going to gain that, but Popov is 4 laps down. Erotica's 4 laps down from Morrow. There's a big position game for Morrow. Obviously still got this battle between Capel and Dan. Bomber is catching up on... Oh, Davy's coming to the pits. So we'll see what the gap actually is between him and T-Pass. I'm assuming we'll have somewhere around the 15-20 second mark. Gap between the two of them. We'll see once he does come into the pits. So I'll tell you what, Dan is slowly gaining on Capel here. Nice little slide there from the Mercedes driver. I do love this livery that Dan's got in his car. Tokyo drift action around that one. I know this corner here is meant to be incredibly difficult on a Assetto Corsa. There's a yellow flag out up ahead. Never mind, it's a driver in the pits, number 21, whoever that is. That's Zito. Did he have to reset to the pits? Because he's only 11 seconds ahead of Capel. That will drop him a long way down if he has had to reset to the pits. Davy's come out of the pits now. Where's Davy? Davy's number 11 on car number. Can't actually see where he's. Oh, he's halfway up the thingy. Tell you what, he's not got a big gap to T-Pass. T-Pass on his final race, just 10 seconds off Davy. That's one to look out for, isn't it? Dan has dropped a little bit back over here. I think we'll go on board with Bomado on the back of Slim. Here he is. See if we can watch him, see what he does. 209.7 last lap point. This is not the optimal line to take for this corner, if anyone's wondering. I'm not sure what happened here, but Morrow is going to be gaining some more positions. It's going to make the job even harder as he recovers. I have no idea what happened to BX there. Just teleported him and he's in a wall. Let's go back to Bomber. Bomber and Slim. Oh my god, it's close now, isn't it? So Slim's last lap's a 2:12. Where's Bomber? There he is. Bomber's last lap's a 2:9. Did Slim make an error? Or is there just that big of a gap between these two guys here? Gonna have to update Morrow's points because he's up into P11. I think that is going to take it a little too far out of Bomber's hands. Yeah, Bomber's going to have to win it from here to take the title now, which I don't think is going to be happening. But I'll tell you what, if he is going to win it, there's only one way to start, and that is overtaking the car right in front of you. Here he is, right on the back of Slim. He's got BX just up ahead, who is a lap down, of course. Bomber could really do with BX getting that move done, because if he does, P2 would be enough. Either way, it's a massive task for Bomber right now. He is really struggling behind the Slim. His lap times have dropped off by about 1.5 seconds compared to what he's doing in clean air. Let's go on board for this battle. You got to, don't you, when you got two drivers this quick and this consistent. Separated by just a second in the rain at the top of the mountain in Australia. Bomber's never won an ALR championship, I don't think, in ACC. And Slim is a bit too... Slim's not going to chance to win it. He struggled so far this season. He only finished 2 races, DNF 3 despite as defended. Going a bit deep here onto the grass, and I think that is going to be enough. Oh, I've switched drivers back. I think that's going to be enough for Bomber to get the move done. It'd be nice if we could see Slim's actually coming back at him. Is crazy to see, considering he was in the gravel not what 10 seconds ago. In the grass, sorry, 10 seconds ago, not gravel. I don't think he ever did get as far away as the gravel. I think the gap behind between Capel and Dan is opening up a little bit just looking at the map. I have been keeping an eye on that one. And yeah, Capel like 30 seconds off these guys, so I don't think he's going to be challenging these. Reg is up ahead 12 seconds, and we've actually just gone to him, which is nice to see. He does have Morrow behind him, who obviously would love to unlap himself. Great camera angle here as they come down onto the the straights, coming off the mountain and the twisty sector 2 that you have back there. Obviously some cars pretty close separated just back, but yeah, one of those is Morrow, who's a lap down. Sorry, not Morrow, it's BX, who's a lap down. Looks like Morrow does have the pace advantage here, but there's one thing to have a pace advantage and one thing to have enough of a pace advantage to get past. We've seen that it's been quite difficult for people to get past here. Obviously, you've got to have a good sector 2 to set yourself up for the move down here, and then this one here is the one where we've seen people have the most success. Bomber is clearing Slim now. Once he's got past, he's pulled away a few seconds, and yeah, 2 seconds a lot quicker on the previous one there, so I assume that one will carry on. But I think it's going to be too little too late. Davey has pulled out 40 seconds on T-Boss somehow, by the way. And that is not a diss on T-Boss by any stretch of the imagination. He's done a fantastic job in his final race, but such is the... Oh no, he's not. I just can't read. Ignore what I'm saying. T-Boss is catching Davey. I was reading the gaps to my current driver, not the actual gaps between them. Davey's doing a 2:09.8 on the previous lap. He is up on this one here. I've jinxed him. He's just gone wide onto the curb and lost 5/10 of a second. Cabale into the pits now. And where is T-Boss? Ben, 17 seconds back. Let's find T-Boss. Here he is. It's like Cabale's going to come out comfortably in P10 here. Oh no, he hadn't reached the pit box. Like, sorry, I thought he'd already left his pit box. Morrow might be gaining another position. He's inevitable, this man, isn't he? With his recovery drive. I think number 222 is Reg on the mini-map, just coming across the line now, so he is going to pass Cabale. Despite the absolute disaster first 10 laps or so that Morrow had. He's managed to recover just with how treacherous these conditions are. And I think we're going to see him sailing away to a second title in the next 45 minutes or so. Just giving T-Boss a little bit of time. He set a great lap on the previous one. 2:08 second lap. I'd love to see him come and take this win off Davey. No offense, Davey, but yeah, T-Boss absolute veteran of the league. In his final ever race, up in P2. I do think he's had a win this season, T-Boss. He just hasn't had the consistency at all. So on his day, he's got incredible pace. Yeah, he did. He won the first round of the season, but hasn't managed another top 5 in the other 8 races that he attended. Looks like he's going to be gaining another couple tenths on Davey this time. Yeah, 2 tenths he gained on Davey in the last lap. So we might watch that gap. Reg just crashed. You can go, mate. There's no one anywhere nearby. Let's watch this. Riveting gameplay. There we go, he's done it. I don't know what happened there. It's really hard to keep on top of everything in it when the screens that you want to see, which show like all the drivers, you don't get the full camera angle. So yeah, you're just clutching at straws a little bit, aren't you? I think VX must have damage here with his 2:11 lap times. I wouldn't expect him to be 2 seconds off there. I think that's kind of split 2 pace, 2:11s. It's a lovely line there from Capra. don't think we've given Cabra much camera time today. He's up in P4, which is really good to see. He's one that has grown his way into this league. He kind of has had a mixed bag of results this season. A couple low down finishes like P18, P19, and 2 top 5s, potentially on course for his 3rd top 5 of the season as he gets a little sprint, sorry. Really good sounding car though, the Porsches. Doesn't look like he's drying up a little bit here though. See, it looks like there's a dry line on the circuit. Even though it's still raining, there's a dry air line. Almost like the rain is less sort of powerful than the cars that are clearing it, but I don't know if that's the thing, if that actually is the case. Oh my god. Yeah, it's safe to say BX has damage. This man is turning like 45 degrees to the right to keep the car straight. Oh, wait, no, let me see if I can get a better view of that steering wheel as he tries. Oh my god. I think we can see BX come into the pits, yes we can, as he turns right to go left. Oh, let's stick with that one. Can't hear you over the engine. I can actually change it down over here, can't I? Let me know how much better this is if I stick it on that kind of volume. I think that... Wait, I didn't... Yeah. I pressed X, not... No, I pressed circle, not X. There we go. That should make it a bit better, hopefully. I've been talking for like the past hour and no one let me know, but that's a shame. It looks like we have a battle for... Slim has actually made his way past... No, it's Slim is pitted and Scanlon is lapping himself. Unlapping himself even. Speaking of lapping cars, Davey coming up to lap P8. Such has been his dominance today, but unfortunately it looks like it's going to be too little too late this season with Morrow's recovery up into the top 10. He's actually up in P9 now, Morrow. I can tell you what, T-Boss is really gaining now. Where is he? He can see Davey now. After being in P3 on the foot. Okay, it teleported into the garage then for a second, I was worried. After being down in P3 on the first stint, qualifying in the mid-pack,
He can now see Davey up ahead. Davey's getting held up by Fravigo, by the way. Would expect him to let him through, but looks like no, that's BX that they're going past. Really hard, there it is. They're literally like halfway across the lobby from each other here, P1 and P2. David with a 2:10.5 on the last lap. Fravigo's had these blue flags for a long time now. Should really be letting Davey past if he's struggling this much. What kind of lap time is it? He's a second off the pace, so it's not that horrendous, but you got P2, P1 and P2 right behind you. You know, and it's been half a lap. There's no way he's driving in first person camera, by the way. Let's go back on board with Davey. Come on, Fravigo, there you go. Is he going to let past T-Pos as well? I hope he does. Or I hope he lets him pass soon anyway, because he's just 2.5 seconds back now. T-Pos hasn't had the best of laps here. Fravigo does not have the blue flags out just yet though, so obviously he doesn't have to let him past. He does have the blue flags now. Alright, blue flags have started on the first of the straights. I mean, I'll tell you what, T-Pos is going to be right on the back. He's going to be held up by Fravigo if Fravigo doesn't let him pass before this straight. Like, he's had blue flags here consistently for 4 blue flag signposts I think we've gone past. 5 now, one on the left there. 6. 7 here, and it was about the same that he left Davey behind. 8 now, 8 blue flag posts, 9 blue flag posts. I'm actually kind of curious. 10 there, one on the left. I'm going to count 11. I'm going to count every single one of these. 12 on the left there, 13 on the right, 14 on the right, 15 blue flags now we've gone past without him letting T-Pos. 16 on the right, 17 on the left, 18 on the left, 19 on the left. Oh, this is he's dropped a second back from Davey. 20 and 21 there, 22 on the right. Oh, and Eroticos has binned it again. Alright, Fravigo, you're going to have to let him past here, surely. It's a full lap that he's been stuck behind you. He is letting him pass now. But a full lap? That's mental. Half a lap stuck behind Davey and a full lap in blue flags. It's looking like a good battle for the lead though. I'm going to check away and see if there are any other close battles just while we wait for T-Pos to keep catching. It doesn't look like there is any, and I think we've got to watch this battle for P1, don't we? There's actually 4 cars behind this as well. Sorry, 4 cars in this train, separated by 6 seconds, but 2 of them are a lap down. Oh, actually no. Fravigo's 1 lap down.
Popov is a few laps down. Ben's made his way past BX, up 28 seconds off the back of these guys now. I'm going to have to turn my volume up a little bit just on my headset because it's very quiet. When I'm not in the Porsche. When I'm in the Porsche, it's extremely loud again, but it's looking like a solid lap here from T-Boss. I mean, to be fair, he's completely level with his best, or is it completely level with his previous lap? I'm not really too sure how ACC works, if I'm honest. He's fantastic at that section of the track there, though. Such a nice line. Oh no, what have I said? That was my bad, that was. I've just praised him and he's binned it. And he can't get round either. Oh god. On his final ALR race for at least a while, he's chucked it in the wall. It just shows how tricky these conditions are. That one little mistake after he's been exceptional all race, and he's lost 20 seconds to Davey up in first place now. More and more of these flyers are falling as Morrow is up to P8, which would be enough to confirm him the title. No one else would be able to win if he comes top 8. After he was down in P40 and P15 earlier on. Disaster strikes for T-Boss. Bomber has had an absolute disaster as well. It's just all of the championship rivals are seeing their races capitulate. Not sure what happened to him as we were watching T-Boss go around in circles. BX in the pits for what feels like the 15th time so far this race. And it looks like P5 and 6 are quite close together. Where are they? Here they are. No, never mind, they're not so close. I thought they were a bit closer than that. There's about 10 seconds separating them. Where is the closest battle on track then right now? Davey leads, with half an hour to go pretty much. T-Boss down in P2 after, I'll be honest, catching Davey for 20 laps straight. Fantastic job. One mistake, back 20 seconds back you go. Ben is 8 seconds back on T-Boss, ready to pounce on any further mistakes that we see from these guys. Cabras 6 seconds back from Ben. Reg is quite a way behind Cabras here, it seems. I'm a big fan of the variety of cars we have in this league. Ford, Aston, Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren, Mercedes, top 6. Not one repeat car in the top 6. And I tell you what, there's no car represented more than twice on the whole grid, which is fantastic to see. P6 we got Dan. P7 we got Fry Vigel, who would have been hoping he could go and win this title. I think we've got prize money on offer for the top 3 in ACC. This would be enough to seal him P2. No, it wouldn't, because Davey, he would be P3 in the standings. Fry Vigel would be with this result, I'm pretty sure. Bomber would stay P4. He'd overtake Zico, who was unable to race today, but Davey up in P1 would overtake him. So yeah, he'd stay P4 in the standings. Championship leader, and at this point, I mean, there's going to have to be something absolutely mental for him to not be crowned champion.
So I'm pretty sure we can safely say Morrow is champion-elect. P8 second, I believe, title with ALR. Maybe third, I don't know. Davey won 2. Morrow might have won 2 already, actually. This might be his third. Someone will have to let me know. Someone who's been paying attention to the ACC leagues longer than I have. Slim down in P9, stuck it on pole. Had the incident that Morrow could still get reported for, but I don't think we'd see a harsh enough penalty, really. Like, he outbroke himself, punted off Slim. A penalty would be given, but I don't think we'd see big enough penalty points to prevent Morrow from winning the title. Capel right at the back of Slim now, looking to secure another top 10, the Canadian. Been a bit of a poor season for him, but I'm sure he'll be coming back next season trying to do better. And I for one hope that he can anyway. Bomber showed so much promise just a couple laps in. It looked like it was all in his hands. You know, he was, what, about 10 seconds off third place. Down in like P7, and P3 would have secured him the title. Something happened, some incident that we missed, and he's dropped all the way back down to P12. It's been a disaster for Rockcars and BX in the pits, as per. I'll be honest, I think my car's been in the pits about the same amount of time as BX's, and we've lost Zito, sorry, we've lost Zito at some point in this race. And we lost someone else, but I don't know who the other person was. I've not been paying enough attention. They dropped out pretty early on, so yeah. But Capel just under a second gap to Slim, so I think we're going to need to go on board with Capel and see if he can get this move done. If I can find him, there he is. Right in the slipstream now. Slim does have a really fast car in a straight line though. Noticed that a few times. A few drivers have tried to pull alongside him and just haven't been able to get alongside. I mean, it looks like Capel's 2.6 seconds a lap faster than Slim, just comparing to his previous lap, and he just can't get alongside at all. That Ford packs a hell of a punch. Let's go on board and let's have a look at just how much this Ford Mustang pulls on a straight. He's matching him here, but and then as soon as he gets into fourth gear, the Mustang just pulls. Just straight is not long enough, and the slipstream's not strong enough for him to get anything done. It's a shame that. Oh, actually, I thought he was going for that then. That would have been very opportunistic from the Canadian. And although Capel has such a big pace advantage over Slim is positioning his car so well every corner. Capel made a mistake and hit the wall, I think. Actually, no, it might have just been lag. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. Yeah, no, I think it was just lag. Slim's positioning his car so well that Capel just has no way to get alongside. 2.2 seconds slower this lap. Being held up by Slim, these two are going to have to let Davey past. If I was Capel, I'd try and let Davey past in like a strategical place, then stick right behind him and try and get Slim when Slim lets Davey past, you know? Maybe try and let Davey through on the last chicane before the hill, the last straight before the hill if possible. Tuck him behind throughout the hill, and then Slim's going to have to let Davey pass some point on the hill anyways, and maybe you can squeeze back through as well. I just don't see Capel getting this move done on the straights. Just doesn't have the punch in that Porsche. I'm not sure if it's a setup issue or if it's a Ford Mustang thing. But I tell you what, Slim's gone wide. Just as I said that about his fantastic defending. And Capel up to P9. That's what I wanted to watch. Got on board with Slim for a bit. I mean, Slim's doing 215s. Has he got damage? Or it's not like we saw with BX earlier. Even if he does have damage, he is aiming the car in a straight line, and it's going in a straight line. So yeah, this is the kind of place where I was suggesting Capel could have let Davey through and then tried to stick on him, but I don't think Slim has the pace. I think Capel's going to ride off into the sunset now. Wonder what's happened with Ben down in P3. Where is he? 12 seconds gap between T-Pos and Ben. So I'll tell you what, T-Pos is... He's flying today. He lost, what, 25 seconds with that crash? So unfortunate hit for him. It would have been so cool to see him win a race on his final day, but is it just me, or is this track getting drier? Rain does not seem as bad. Bomber in his own little world here. No one anywhere near him. BX in the pits as per. Cabras looks like he's lost some time to Ben. He has. He was 5 seconds behind Ben earlier on. He's dropped back to 14 seconds back now. Capel, obviously blue flags, but that's just Davey behind. And how long is it going to take Capel to let Davey through? We sort of straight away. Okay, that's how you're supposed to let lap cars through. None of this holding someone up for half a lap and then holding up the person behind them for a full lap. I know he's not holding them up by much, he was holding them by about a second a lap, but every little matters when you're in a battle for the lead. Obviously T-Pass did spin in the end, but that spin might not have happened if he wasn't pushing as much because he was already on the back of Davey. Or if Davey was let back straight away, then let through straight away, sorry, then maybe he would have pulled away. Yeah, it's definitely getting drier. Look at the comparison to the previous lap here, already half a second up just in the first sector. Dan's only 5 seconds back from Reg, that's probably one we can keep an eye on. Morrow is absolutely flying up in P8. He's actually overtaken Bomber as well. There was a point where Bomber was in P5, Morrow was in P15. Seems a very long way away, that does now. He's just taking it so easy. He knows P8 confirms in the title. And it was all the hard work in the middle portion of the race which has secured him, really, hasn't it? Sorry, P7 would have secured him the title, but obviously Praviel's nowhere near winning.
P8 takes him too far from Bomber's grasp. do have Dan catching Reg. 4 seconds to get between these two now. Never mind, 8. Why is that just bumped up to 8 seconds instantly as soon as I've mentioned that? I mean, it is 4. What is happening then? That's bizarre. 2086 for... Never gone the wrong way. There we go. 293, so... 286, so I just read the other. But yeah, so these two are definitely closing up together. What's up, Slim? How's it going? I was a bit excited that we might have a title fight on our hands, and then Morrow's recovered quite well after his incident with you on that one where he's rear-ended you. He found himself all the way down in P15. We had Davey and Morrow literally level on points at one point in time, sorry. And Bomber was about 5 seconds off being like an overtake that would have took him into the lead of the title, but since then Morrow has recovered really well, and we've seen mistakes elsewhere which have dropped people behind him. Bit of a shame really, but it is what it is. On board with Reg now, because Reg and Dan are the two closest guys together on track. Again, another couple of tenths from Dan, as he is about 3.5 seconds back now from Reg. Why has it changed? It was literally 3 ticks. Who's in the title fight? Morrow is leading by quite a way, so yeah. Really, he needed to have a stinker to have it sort of for someone else to win. Frivergel, well, Zico was second, quite close behind, but he's not here obviously. Frivergel's third, who has had a poor race himself. Bomber is in 4th, and Davey was in 5th. Anyone behind that was too far back. It was when Davey was winning and Morrow was right at the back, they would have been level on points, and Davey would have won on countback if things stayed how they were. Obviously Morrow's done really well to come back to where he's in the top 8, so Bomber or Frivergel are the only ones that would be able to win it, but they'd need to win the race. Frivergel could come P2 as well, I think, but yeah. Basically you need to win the race with Morrow finishing outside the top 7, which he's in 8th currently. I don't know, I think he's in 7th now, so yeah, 7th would confirm the title regardless. Really, really good recovery though. He was 2-3 laps down at one point in time. He's setting incredible pace. So consistent, so smooth on the steering wheel. It's great to see. Yeah, no, I don't think the only way it's going to change anything is if it's like 20-30 points penalty. With him, especially with him up in P7 now. And I'll be honest, I don't know what happened at some point. I'm not sure if you've seen the flight simulator replay, because he completely dropped down out of the randomly at one point in time. And when we tried to see the replay about what happened, it was just flight simulator. But I mean, he's outperforming all of his title rivals right now, so it would have to be a penalty of like 40 points to take him behind Davey, who looks like he's going to come home in P2 in the standings, which is mental. Up from, yeah, I saw he tagged you uphill lap 1. He had another crash. I'll actually try to find it. What, the gap has gone up a little bit here. He had another crash, but the replay didn't work when I tried to see what was happening. No, I probably shouldn't be cutting away from what was happening, but there's gaps, so that's what we need. So yeah, here he's up in P3, so this is after he's tagged you. He's still in P3. And then what position is he here? P3 still, so it's after that. It's going to be this one here. Like, look, his car's all damaged and he's down in P11, but we can't see what happens. It's mental. He just goes flying. Like, it's not what a car's meant to do, mate. But this took him down into P14, P15, or whatever it was at the time. P15, I think. But we'll never know what it was. Maybe that explains how he's driving so well, is that he has flight hacks installed on his Mercedes. And if anyone has a better explanation, please let me know. But that's the only valid explanation I know, is that there's an alien in his engine and his car is part Mercedes, part UFO. Because from that, whatever happened on lap 5 or 6, the order completely changed. Like P3, 4 and 5 were at the back, and then P7, 8 and 9 were in P2, and I was like, no idea what happened, because it was just Microsoft Flight Simulator, as Dimitri said earlier on. It had about a minute of that, and then Morrow was in the pits, so I'm sure someone will tell me later on, but I've never been so confused in my life when I joined to watch that, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, let's switch off this camera for a little bit. Still similar gap here. It looks like Dan's charge is kind of halted a little bit here. We've got 10 minutes left of the race. Looks like it's fully dry. I don't think anyone's gonna. Yeah, it was literally only you and Morrow that got damage. Did you teleport back to the pits? Because I feel like you could have tried to get your car to limp round and then you at least complete the first lap, and I feel like it's probably a little bit more beneficial for you versus just like resetting and having to redo the full lap again. I think Reg and Dan is the only position here that is up for grabs. Obviously T-Pos on his final. Oh, did you drive around? Oh, okay. T-Pos on his final day at ALR, doing so well, lost 25 seconds from his spin, and he stayed around that time from Davey. Ben, I think Ben's first podium, if he can hold it out. First podium this season anyway, at least. Yeah, he's had one P4, that's his best result so far this season, so a P3 in the double points event will be massive. And obviously don't forget, we do have drop rounds coming back next season, so it will be your best 7 of 8, which I'm sure loads of people seem really happy about that it's coming back. And the calendar is now available for Patreons to see, so hopefully everyone's happy with the calendar. Starting mid-July, I think it is, a few weeks off, we're going to have an off-season event to pass the time, and we'll see what people's car choices are when it comes around. track looks completely dry now, but yeah, no reason to come into the pits. 21 seconds gap between Davey and T-Pos. Dan's closed up a little bit here on Reg. I think this is the one that's going to have the most likelihood of happening here. I am a bit surprised that no one's run out of fuel, because it was so early when these guys came into the pits. And they've stayed out all this time. They must have all stuck on full tanks of fuel. But I'll be honest, if it was me in that circumstance, I don't think I would have. I think I would have just took about half an hour of fuel in, and then obviously since the dry was coming, and just planned moving on to the dries, and taking advantage of the lighter tank. But it looks like it must have been the right strategy for everyone to go and choose that method. It's a good lap from Dan, that, in the 208s. Within 3 seconds now of Reg. I've only got 3 or 4 laps to go though, so I don't know if it's going to be too little too late for him to make this move. I'll be honest, I'm surprised my... Oh, there's someone complaining on the Discord. Dan's made a mistake when I've looked away, because he's got a 7-second gap. Why am I like this? Let me rewind the stream. What did he do? He drifted and hit the wall. Well, there you go. That's why I don't read Discord, because I miss things like that and completely miss the moment of excitement. I think it makes sense to go on board with Davey, doesn't it? Or Morrow, one of the two. Go on board with Morrow for a bit, and then we'll go on board with Davey for the final few laps. I think this is the first season where he's driven the Mercedes. I'm not sure if there is a rule in ACC where the drivers need to switch up cars every few seasons. I think it would make sense if it is the case. I know Davey likes to switch up his car every now and then. I've heard him mention that he's thinking about the Lexus next season. Obviously Morrow, I'm so used to seeing him in a Ferrari and in a McLaren. Maybe he has been switching up every time he's won the title. But yeah, as I said, check out ALR's Discord if there is anyone here interested in the commentary position available for next season. We have at least one ACC, maybe 2, but at least one ACC commentary position that we're looking to fill. We have an F1 commentary position that we're looking to fill, and yeah, I think we're pretty good for Gran Turismo commentary services right now, but you can always accommodate people if they're interested and want to join the team. More the merrier over here, of course. Whenever I watch Morrow, there's just absolutely no concern at all with the way he's driving. Everything's so smooth. He does have his traction control on 6. I'm not sure if that's just just because he doesn't want to ruin anything, but to be honest, I think he's all good. As we see another spinner up ahead, it looks like it's a rock cause again, beached in the gravel on the right hand side there. And I think it's about time we go on board with Davey soon. He's going to have 2 laps to go. I think he's going to cross the line with a little bit more. Yeah, he's just crossed the line now, so 2 laps to go for Davey. And I guess at the end of this this lap, we'll go on board with him. Let's find the man up in P1. Reg has pulled out from Dan. Ben is still closing on T-Pos, who he's not slowed down really. He's stuck in with that 22-second gap to Davey. This Porsche does not sound healthy. It's just so much louder than the Ferraris. The Ferraris are absolutely silent. It's a shame we couldn't have both tiers today. I think that would have been pretty cool for a finale, but I understand why we don't really want to have any big incidents affecting the title fight, which obviously we had anyway. But yeah, I get the sentiment behind it, but I feel like it's a shame there wasn't a full lobby today. Davey's coming around to do his final lap here at 90 minutes of Bathurst. Absolute slug. He's on wheel, isn't he? So his hands probably won't be killing too much, as if he was on pad. Let's go on board for the final 3/4 of the lap, see it from his perspective. I don't imagine he'll be setting the world alight with this lap. He's just got to bring the car home as he hits the wall. Proving my point that he's just got to bring the car home. It's been a fantastic drive from him, hasn't it? Throughout, he hasn't really made any mistakes, Davey. Just so consistent. You could argue other people have shown more pace than him throughout this race, but Bathurst is a test of endurance and it is a test of consistency. And if there's one thing he's excelled in today, it's those two categories, isn't it? A fantastic performance from Davey as he comes home with yet another win in ALR. First win of the season, actually. Probably going to propel him up to P2 in the standings this. In fact, it is going to propel him up to P2 in the standings. Too little too late though to have a shot at beating Morrow for the championship. He'll be kicking himself about a P13 he had earlier in the season. and his penalty points for his missed race. Obviously, if he'd have signed out, he wouldn't have had the penalty points for missing that race, and he'd have been okay. But it's a great drive, and he comes home for yet another victory at ALR. It is T-Poss who won his final ever outing at ALR, repping the retro gold and green livery from his first season of Gran Turismo with a podium. Fantastic drive for the Dutchman, and I am so happy to see this guy getting a podium he deserves. We got Ben Tidswell as well. Obviously, we can't forget this man coming home for his first podium of the season. Some smoke in the back for him there, as T-Poss is doing donuts. And I think we're going to have to find the title winner. Morrow halfway... Where's he gone? There he is. Halfway around the lap. Halfway to go. But there's no way he can lose it from now unless he goes and gets like a 40-point penalty, which I'm sure won't be the case. I really need to learn the controls on this game. I swear to God. I can't find him. There he is. I'm sure it won't be the case, but here he is. Giuseppe Morrow coming home for P7 in this race, taking him up to around a 465 point mark, somewhere around there. And not the most clinical display. One of his worst results of the season, actually. But still a really, really good recovery to come back from P14 and take home P7 and the title for Season 6 of Aero League Racing Assetto Corsa. So here he is. Let's give him some showtime with his... No, he's not going to do any donuts. Never mind. Either way, it is a fantastic victory for the man. Let's see. That's the full results there. There was only 1.5 seconds separating Dan and Cabras in the end. Reg actually got Cabras right. I think Cabras might have run out of fuel there or something. Like some kind of incident must have happened for him to completely fall off like that. Unfortunately, we missed it again. I feel like that's been a bit of a theme in it. Let's go find a clip of Morrow for his congratulations post. We're not going to get one, unfortunately. Yeah, there he is, your champion of Season 6. Fully deserved. Not the best day at the office, but he's done everything he needed to do. Anyway, thanks to everyone who did take the time to watch this stream or any other streams this season. We're hoping to do the same again, run 2 splits next season, and sign-ups will be opening in the coming days if you want to go ahead and join in. But yeah, until then, thank you for everyone who raced, everyone who tuned in, everyone who commented, and everyone who left a like. And we see you next season.